Hi everyone, welcome to the third week of making my indie game, this being day 38 through 44. For those who don't know, I'm making my own indie game and posting a video every week of what I was working on. Well, that's basically all that I have to say, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. On Monday, I revisited my work on The Nest, and I did some artwork for that area. I have to admit, it's been a very long time since I've mentioned this area, the last time being on day 1. It was actually really fun working on this. I changed the tile setup a bit. The base tile went from this to this. If you don't really notice the change, at first the tile had a lot of different colors that were in between the two colors in the color palette. I changed it to only use those two colors instead of all the colors in between. I think it looks less blurry now and a lot more like my other tiles. On top of this, I sketched out some enemies on paper and even made some art for two of them. These being the Eiling and the larger Eiling. I don't have a name for that one yet, but I'm thinking that the larger Eiling spawns smaller Eilings. After I was done with this, I started to work on the music. I've learned that it's always a good idea to pick a skill before making the melody and the chords. I didn't really get that far, but I had an idea, and that's good enough for now. On day 39, I worked on getting the Eilings to work in-game. This was somewhat of a challenge because I wanted them to kind of float up and down. At first, I tried to do this with the sine wave, but that proved to be a little too difficult to implement. Then I used a variable that would change from -10 to +10, and after some trial and error, it worked flawlessly. I did tweak some variables later on to make it look more natural, but that was basically all that I wanted to do. However, in the spare time that I had, I worked some more on the music, now creating a definitive melody for the nest. The next day, I thought about making a leveling system and a lot about River's Gaze. When I say leveling system, I basically mean you find these things called soul shards that you can equip, and by doing quests or fighting certain items, you can upgrade them. Sometimes this makes you deal more damage, other times it lets you have more health or run faster, those kinds of things. Now, about River's Gaze. Obviously, it's the starting area, so I'm thinking about 10 to 12 rooms, keeping it a bit on the smaller side. Also, there are going to be almost no enemies, maybe a few in rooms that lead to other areas, but besides that, there are probably going to be none, or extremely easy and predictable ones. On Thursday, I didn't do that much, besides thinking about mechanics of the game and a bit of music. It did feel nice to take a break and make silly art, like this for example. It's a little pixel night, and these are playing cards, and whoa, blur that, that's spoilers. Yeah, that's basically all that I did today, but it's nice to take a break sometimes. Day 42 was packed with all sorts of different stuff, such as working some more on the music, sketching out more ideas, making art for those ideas, thinking about the lore, starting on a new tile set, scrapping that tile set because it doesn't look good, getting distracted by playing cards, focusing, and creating a core mechanic for the game that will most likely be used to do skips in-game, but otherwise will be almost completely useless. This being an ability called Wall Slam, or something along the lines of that. I haven't really settled for something yet. And it's basically what the name suggests it is. You can slam against walls and enemies will get stunned when you do that. Now that I think about it, it's not that useless, because it can definitely save you sometimes. But if there's not a wall nearby, then you just fall and get stunned yourself. But anyway, that's all that I did today. On the weekend, I took it a bit more slowly, like most of my weekends, but I still worked on the music. Making music is kind of my way of ignoring other stuff that I could be doing, like making art or doing level design. And the best part is, it's really easy. Sure, I work on one song for more than a week, but every time that I do work on it, it's always really fun. Looking back on this week, I could have done more or other things, better things, but it's fine. I did a lot of stuff and I still have a lot of time, so maybe I'll be more proud next week, or not. Who knows? Who cares? I most certainly don't. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It's free, really helps out a lot, and you can always change your mind later. Also, if you have any ideas for the game, please let me know in the comments. Chances are that if it's somewhat decent, I will use your idea. That's all. So I hope you have a nice day ahead and get plenty of sleep tonight. Goodbye, and see you next week.